Everybody thinks the Apple TV is dead. And frankly, if you check your living room, you're probably agreeing. While we've been getting titanium iPhones, iPads that cost as much as used cars, and MacBooks that finally don't sound like jet engines, the Apple TV has been sitting there, gathering dust, running on silicon that predates the pandemic. It feels like Apple just handed the keys to Roku and Amazon and walked away. But that silence? It's a lie. We just got a data dump on the 2026 refresh, and if the code strings we're seeing are real, Apple isn't abandoning the living room. They were just waiting for the supply chain to catch up. Let's get right into the timeline, because this is the first red flag that tells you this isn't a normal refresh. Usually, Apple operates on a fall cycle. They want you buying hardware for the holidays. But the supply chain leaks and specific kernel identifiers in the tvOS code, specifically a build tag tvOS 26.4, point to spring 2026. Why skip the holiday quarter? That's leaving money on the table. The only logical explanation is software. The hardware is ready, the molds are cut, but the brain isn't. They're holding this back because the Apple Intelligence stack, their AI implementation, isn't stable enough for a living room deployment yet. If they ship a dumb streaming box in 2026, it's effectively e-waste on day one. They can't just ship another Netflix machine. They need a local compute node. And that brings us to the silicon. This is the part that actually piqued my interest. The reports claim this unit is running the A17 Pro. Yeah, the chip from the iPhone 15 Pro. The one everyone complained about getting hot. I can hear you already. Great, a toaster for my TV cabinet. But stop and think about the physics for a second. In an iPhone, that A17 Pro is suffocating. It's trapped in a glass sandwich, no airflow, relying on passive dissipation while pressed against a battery. Of course it throttles. But in an Apple TV? It's a thick plastic box. It has a heatsink. It has a fan. And most importantly, it has unlimited power from the wall. It doesn't need to worry about battery drain. You are effectively unleashing the A17 Pro without the handcuffs. This implies Apple is trying, again, to make the Apple TV as a console thing happen. We've heard this rumor for a decade. Every single time, it's a disappointment. We get promised Call of Duty, we end up with Crossy Road. But the A17 Pro has hardware-accelerated ray tracing. That's not marketing fluff, that's actual silicon architecture. If, and this is a massive if, Apple can convince developers to port native versions of Resident Evil or Assassin's Creed, this box could actually run them without melting. It stops being a $150 streamer and starts looking like a Switch competitor. Do I think they'll pull off the gaming ecosystem? Probably not. Apple doesn't understand gamers. But the hardware is finally capable, so the excuse is gone. There is a boring upgrade in the leak that matters way more than gaming, though. Wi-Fi 7. Don't gloss over this. Most people see Wi-Fi 7 and think, oh, faster downloads. Wrong. Unless you have gigabit fiber, your speed is already capped by your ISP. Wi-Fi 7 isn't about speed, it's about traffic control. If you live in an apartment complex or a dense neighborhood, your 5 GHz spectrum is a war zone. Everyone's router is screaming over everyone else's. When you hit AirPlay and there's a 2-second delay? That's congestion. When your HomeKit lights take a second to turn on? That's interference. Wi-Fi 7 opens up the 6 GHz band. Think of this like Apple building a private toll road that your neighbor's cheap router can't drive on. For a device that Apple wants to be the central hub of your smart home, this is non-negotiable. It eliminates the jitter. It makes the UI feel instant. It's the kind of upgrade you don't see on a spec sheet, but you feel it when you scrub through a 4K timeline. Then there's the codec situation. The leaks confirm hardware AV1 decoding. Finally, YouTube and Netflix have been pushing AV1 for years. It looks cleaner than the old codecs and uses less bandwidth. Right now, if you force AV1 on a current Apple TV, the CPU has to decode it via software. That's inefficient. It generates heat. It can cause frame drops if the bitrate spikes. Moving this to a dedicated hardware decoder means crisp 4K streams even if your internet is having a bad day. It's a future-proofing move. If you buy a streamer in 2026 without hardware AV1 support, you're buying a paperweight. It's good to see Apple finally catching up here, even if they are late to the party. Now let's talk money. Because Apple is a business, and they are allergic to losing margins. The rumors suggest a split strategy. A stick, or low-cost puck around that $99 mark to fight off the Amazon Fire Sticks, and a Pro model with the A17 chip and the Ethernet port. This is classic upsell psychology. They call it the ladder. They lure you in with the $99 price tag. You click on it. Then you notice the $99 version doesn't have an Ethernet port. Or it has half the storage. Or it doesn't support the Thread radio for smart home stuff. Suddenly you're convincing yourself to spend the extra $50 for the Pro model just to be safe. It's cynical, it's annoying, and it works every time. If they do release a $99 version, expect it to be crippled in a way that makes you hate it just enough to upgrade. We also have to address the Apple Intelligence integration. The leaks claim deeper Siri integration, processing requests on device. Imagine saying, "Show me sci-fi movies from the last 5 years that are safe for kids," and Siri actually understanding the context instead of just searching the web for sci-fi kids. I'm incredibly skeptical. Right now, Siri struggles to set a timer on my HomePod half the time. However, the A17 Pro has a dedicated neural engine that is significantly more beefy than anything currently in an Apple TV. If they can process the voice recognition locally, cutting out the round trip to the server, it might finally be fast enough to be useful. But if I see that spinning wheel of death while it thinks, it's a fail. There's also a rumor floating around about a camera. Relax, not a built-in lens. Putting a camera directly into the box would be a privacy nightmare. Nobody wants a dark lens staring at them while they're on the couch. Instead, the code suggests deeper integration for FaceTime and Zoom using external cameras or your iPhone. They want the TV to be a communication hub. Personally, I don't want to see my boss's face in 65 inches on my OLED. But Apple is going to market this heavily for families. Grandma on the big screen is the pitch. It's a niche feature, but it aligns with their strategy of owning the living room glass. So, the verdict. What do you actually do with this info? If you have the 2022 Apple TV 4K, the one with USB-C, you're fine. Sit tight. Your device is fast enough, and unless you desperately need AV1 decoding or you're trying to game on this thing, the upgrade won't change your life. But if you're still using the old Apple TV HD, the one with the black remote, or the first-gen 4K box, your hardware is on life support. The difference between what you have and this 2026 model will be shocking. Apps opening instantly. No stuttering in the UI. Actual HDR support that works. Apple is throwing raw power at the problem because they realized they were losing the war for the living room input. Spring 2026. That's the target. Start saving your pennies now, because knowing Apple, the Pro version won't be cheap. Let me know in the comments, do you actually care about gaming on an Apple TV, or is Apple wasting their time chasing Nintendo? I read every comment. Don't forget to sub for the next leak. I'm out.